Once upon a time, in a comfortable house, there lived a cat named Milo. Milo was no ordinary cat. He was a very curious cat who was always looking for new adventures. Every day, he wandered around the house looking for new things to eat, play with, or even destroy. One thing he loved the most was sleeping in the strangest and most unexpected places. One morning, when his owner, Mrs. Dina, was preparing breakfast, Milo woke up and started wandering around the house. With graceful steps, he headed to the living room where he saw a new object on the table. It was a large bottle of paint that Mrs. Dina had just bought. Of course, Milo was interested. "Hey, what's this?" thought Milo. "New thing, must try." Without thinking, Milo put his paw on the lid of the paint bottle and tried to turn it around. It turned out that the paint bottle opened easily and the paint started to spill out a little. Milo, who was very curious, immediately dipped his paw into the paint and started to wiggle his paw back and forth. However, what made this incident even funnier was when Milo ran all over the house, with paint stuck to his paws. He ran so fast that he left colorful paint trails on the floor, sofa, and even on the walls. Mrs. Dina, who saw the incident, could only be speechless. "Milo, why did it turn out like this?" she exclaimed in exasperation. Milo, who seemed unaware that he was making a big mess, sat in front of Mrs. Dina proudly, as if he had just created a work of art. "I thought I became an artist," thought Milo while looking at his paws covered in paint. He then tried to jump onto the table and elegantly wiped his colorful paws on the tablecloth. Like an artist, he casually finished his work. Finally, Mrs. Dina could only laugh out loud while cleaning the paint from the entire house. "Milo, you are a cat who never runs out of ideas, huh?" However, even though the house was a mess, Mrs. Dina couldn't be angry for too long. After all, who could be angry at a cat who was hilariously trying to be an artist? And so, Milo was satisfied with his work and went back to sleep on the soft bed, leaving Mrs. Dina, who still had to clean the house, with a smile. Since that day, Mrs. Dina's house became famous among her friends. "This is the house of the cat artist,"